Welcome back to the Ruby Tuesday. We're talking about Hellhole, a new Shudder original film that comes from directors John Adams and Toby Poser. I think for those that have been following this family make films for a while, you'll enjoy it, but let's get into this new horror film. Hellhole hails from the filmmaking family behind Hellbender and centers on an American-led fracking crew that uncovers a living French soldier frozen in time from a Napoleonic campaign whose body hosts a parasitic monster. When it comes to creature features, monster films, there are certain rules that make a creature feature and film work really well. One, you mustn't be long. 90 minutes is probably a good time for your film so that it doesn't outstay its welcome. You don't want extra padding in there for the sake of it. You have a very clear three-tiered arc. Set up the premise, give us the monster rules, chaos at the end. Gore and mayhem. That is the tried and tested formula that works well. Look at films like Shaun of the Dead. If you think about your crazy slashers that are short, sharp, that know what they are, they don't kind of scrape the tin, they go outside of that tin and try to do something different. Those creature features that you've seen that know that work for you, those are the ones that, stand the test of time, that you go back to over and over again. There are some anomalies that are longer than those, obviously. This is just a generic kind of formula that works, that I've reviewed over 3,000 films now, and you can see, you pick out the ones that work. And when it comes to creativity and something new and family orientated, that people are really trying to dip their beaks without having a huge budget, this is that family. So they've made a film. Well, they've made a number of films as a family, writing, directing, acting, casting themselves, probably saving on the budget, all of that. But when it comes to the creature feature of this, they set up the premise fairly quickly, explosively, which I enjoyed. And they set you up on a high, thinking that that's what this is going to be. But then we have lots of dialogue in very cheap-looking sets. That's not to do them a disservice, they work with what they have, but it's obviously a very budget movie. Unfortunately, the witty, quirky, banterish dialogue that often works in this film doesn't carry this film enough for you to want to stay for the last 20 minutes of mayhem. When we do get to the creature features or the moments of gore, it is great and it's done well. But unfortunately, the padding in this film is an hour too long. So would I go back to watching this film? No. Would I recommend you watching it? Maybe in a background, or if you're a diehard fan of these B-horror movies, then you may enjoy the gore that it gives for the 20 minutes. Do I feel like that gore is earned? Yeah, and then some, because I've waited so long for this film to get to the bit that I really want to watch. Even with all that extra padding, I didn't care about the characters. I didn't want any of them to survive. I do have to tip my hat to the dialogue and scripting. I think that is probably the strongest part in this film. The most fun I had with the film was some of the lines that were delivered. Unfortunately, it feels like there's a lot of this that needed to be edited out. The pacing is slow and all over the place and feels like they were waiting for the director to call cut. So, unfortunately, I'm going to give this 2 Nicolas Cages out of 5.
And you got one.
Maybe worth a one-time watch late at night if it's showing on Shudder, but I wouldn't go out of your way to watch this one. If you have other pressing horrors that you want to watch, that's probably more in line with what you're going to flick on. But maybe at 2 o'clock in the morning, you can't sleep. You stick this on and you might have some fun with it. Or it might help you sleep. Thanks so much for watching this review, but most of all, until next time, remember, live long and Tuesday.